Alyssa. OMG, I haven't talked to you for so long. How have you been? It's me, Jenny Elliott. We went to junior high and high school together. You still remember me, right?
Jenny Elliott. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard from you. Of course I remember you. How could I forget? Honestly, I'm pretty shocked you're just contacting me out of the blue like this. I mean, how did you get my number? What is this all about?
OMG. We weren't allowed to bring our phones to school back in junior high school, but you didn't even have a phone anyway, right? I got your number from one of our other old classmates.
Oh, you did, huh? Lucky me.
Yeah, it was literally so hard to track you down, but I kept at it. There are not that many people who know your number, you know? I know you don't have many friends, but seriously, maybe you could have at least a few more.
I bet most people just didn't want to give you my number.
Why would you say that?
Everybody knows. They still remember what you did to me back then, Jenny. I'm guessing they didn't want to give you my number without asking me first.
What did I do? Huh? What are you talking about? What did I ever do to you? I literally can't remember ever doing anything bad to you. I was all the teacher's favorite student. And I was on student council. I was so popular back then. Don't you remember?
Student council was a joke. All you guys did was get smashed at parties every weekend. You had to have something to put on your college applications. There was no way you would have made it otherwise. All of you guys were like that. You're lucky that extracurricular activities count for something. It was the most dysfunctional student council I could imagine. What did you guys even do for the rest of us?
It was not like that at all. We were all so awesome at what we did. Our school festival was always so fun, totally thanks to us.
It was only for a really small group. Most of us were annoyed by the student council. The whole thing was just for you guys who like to party all the time, right? I mean, you forced everyone into a class dance-off whether they wanted to do it or not. And you wasted a bunch of money on the stage for the band. The festival organizing committee were the ones who made sure everything actually ran okay. You guys just did whatever you wanted like you always did. You just partied it up amongst yourselves and left everybody else out, right?
It's not my fault that you were such a boring teenager.
All you guys ever did was get on my nerves. Okay, maybe not all of you, but definitely most of you did. It was such a small group that was down with doing things your way. You really never noticed that?
But the dance contest was so fun! Who doesn't love to dance?
I was so busy studying for the SATs, and you made everybody stay after school to practice your silly dances. And then you went and ordered a bunch of stupid matching costumes for everybody without asking. And made us pay for them after the fact? Seriously? What the fuck? You get why those aren't fond memories of my teenage years for me, right? You're not that dense, are you?
OMG, you're still such a downer. I thought maybe you would have learned to have fun by now. Just admit that those were fun times. Those have to be good memories. Hey, what about that time your boyfriend got stolen right out from under you? I bet that's a good memory too, right?
Oh, so you do remember. Why am I not surprised?
I knew it. You're still pissed at me about it, aren't you? Has it really been eating away at you that much? Sorry, I guess. Maybe you could learn how to not hold a grudge. Were you trying to avoid ever talking to me again because of that? It was so long ago. Let it go, girl.
Everybody was just looking out for me and not telling you my number, that's all.
Don't act like it's my fault. It's all on you that he didn't want to be with you anymore.
I was out with the flu for 1 week, and that's all the time you needed to put a bunch of lies about me in his ear, right? You knew damn well I couldn't see him because I was sick and that I didn't have a cell phone, so it was hard to get in touch with him, and you used that as your chance. You told him that I'd gotten around a lot back in junior high, and that I caught the flu from some other random dude.
I mean, it did take a lot of work to get him to believe me. He really believed you for some reason.
You bullied one of the quiet girls from our junior high, didn't you? That's how you got her to tell him the same lies about me, right?
Oh, you knew about that too, huh?
She came to apologize to me afterwards. That's how I knew everything you'd done.
Well, men are pretty easy to trick like that, right? Boys will be boys.
And then you broke up like a week after you stole him from me?
I mean, I was busy studying for my SATs then.
But you had already been accepted to some schools thanks to all your extracurricular activities.
I had all the boys and all the teachers right in the palm of my hand, didn't I? It was so easy for me. Serious girls like you are really missing out on so much in life, you know? You've got to learn how to get what you want out of life like I do.
Yeah, I did really dedicate myself to studying hard. And you know what? It totally paid off for me, so I don't regret a thing.
Is that so?
Anyway, is there some reason you're texting me out of nowhere like this?
Oh, yeah. So we were just talking about how I was on student council, right? I guess maybe that's why I have to do my part here. It kind of feels like it's still my responsibility. We're having a class reunion soon. We just decided it not that long ago.
A class reunion.
Yeah, so I figured I'd better let you know, too. I didn't want to leave you out, so I've been wanting to get in touch with you. I'm going to be in charge of the whole thing. You got to be there, okay? Promise me? If anybody doesn't show up, I'll feel like I failed at organizing the reunion. Please don't do that to me.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll let you know about the date, location, and cost once I have that all finalized. Make sure you check your text often, all right? I'll tell you everything you need to know.
I never even said whether I was coming or not.
It's like I already told you, though. I won't let anybody miss the class reunion if I'm organizing it. Not on my watch. I already told the venue how many of us are coming and everything. They're expecting you to be there, too. You don't want to waste the nice meal that's already going to be prepared for you anyway, do you? And we'll have to pay for the number of people I already told them are coming no matter what. So, even if there's some reason why you absolutely can't make it, you'll still have to send me the money for your part of the bill.
Still trying to get money out of people after the fact like that, huh? You never asked me anything.
Well, there's still a ton of people I need to get in touch with, so let's leave it there for now. Talk to you soon.
Hang on a second, Jenny. You can't just ask for money and run.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again after so long when the reunion finally happens. I hope you haven't changed at all from that moody, plain little girl you always were. I'm glad you could make it to the class reunion last month after all. So much has been going on since then that I haven't had a chance to get in touch with you again. Sorry.
I mean, it's not like I was really waiting by my phone to hear from you or anything, so you don't have to worry about it. I did get a chance to see a bunch of my old classmates for the first time in a long time, so it was pretty fun, I guess. That's about all I expected. Okay then, I can't imagine why there's any reason you would ever contact me again now. Have a nice life.
Stop right there. Just give me a second at least.
What else could you possibly want from me? Oh my god, you're not going to try to tell me you're organizing a class reunion for our junior high too, are you?
That's actually a great idea. We've never once gotten together with everybody from junior high.
Oh my god, what have I done? Never mind, forget I said anything. I take it all back, okay? Almost none of us had cell phones back in junior high anyway, right? I think it would be way too hard to get a hold of everybody, wouldn't it? Don't even bother.
You never know unless you try, right? Be optimistic for once. I can definitely still get in touch with the friends I was really close with in junior high. I'll talk to them and see what they think about your idea. Anyway, I had something more important to talk to you about. You're married now, right?
Yeah, most people our age are by now, aren't they? Most of the people that were at our high school reunion were married too, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, but I was really surprised that you had gotten married. I never would have guessed that you got married before I did. Not in a million years. It has to be some kind of miracle, right? No one could have seen that coming.
What are you talking about? For real? What is this all about? Are you just trying to be all in my business like back in high school again? If that's what you're doing, I'm just gonna block you.
And I heard your husband is a CEO too. Is that true?
Huh?
I know all about him. I was curious, so I actually decided to look into him. You know that registry that you signed when you came to the class reunion? I went to the address you put down there. I had a little time on my hands, so I staked the place out for a while. I just had to see what kind of man would marry a girl like you.
You did what now? Are you some kind of stalker? Please don't come around my house anymore. You can't be using people's personal information for your own amusement like that.
Cho, you make it sound like I'm some kind of monster. I wasn't planning to hurt anyone. My curiosity got the best of me. It was like an itch I had to scratch. I figured your husband would be another sad, boring person like you anyhow. Imagine my surprise when I saw him. He's such a hunk. How did you ever end up with a guy like him? And when I talked to him, he was so down to earth and cool. He's such an easy person to get along with.
Wait, you talked to him. You tracked down and spoke to my husband. When was this?
Once I struck up a conversation with him, he was telling me all kinds of things. So I figured, why not? I went on the attack. What man can resist me? It was just like back in high school.
What exactly do you mean, like, just like back in high school? Oh my god, you didn't.
He told me all about how he runs a company, and he's so good looking too. I thought he'd be the perfect man for me, don't you think?
Stop screwing around. You already saw my boyfriend back in high school. And even after that, you were always trying to ruin any relationship I had until we graduated. Have you really grown up so little since then? Do you think you're still a child? Are you seriously telling me you're still playing these stupid, childish games?
It's like I already told you. It's your fault if a man gets stolen away from you.
You are unbelievable.
If I'm being brutally honest, I think Albert is wasted on you.
Wait, what?
You're not really the kind of girl who's married to a CEO, are you? I don't know, a perfect husband like that just doesn't suit you. I'm obviously much better equipped to be a CEO's wife, right?
You think you're entitled to be a CEO's wife for some reason. Jenny, have you really taken a look at yourself lately?
Are you making fun of me? Whatever, I don't even care if you are. You'll be the one crying in the end after all. I'll take my rightful place as the wife of a CEO along with your dream husband. It'll look much better on me. Looks like I have to steal your husband like I stole your boyfriend.
You know what? If you really can steal him away, he's all yours. I'd like to see you try it.
What's that? Trying to act confident.
If you really think you can steal my Al away, go right ahead.
Wow, you sound like you really believe what you're saying. Watch out. I'm really gonna give it my best shot.
Melissa, I'm sorry. I have to tell you something. I can't keep living a lie. I want to live a life of true love.
Where is this coming from? What's gotten into you?
I've realized that I can't continue in a marriage that isn't based on true love. I've been fooling myself.
What are you talking about?
Well, I run a company, right? If I want to make my company continue growing, I realize that I need to try out all kinds of new things. But anytime you take up a new challenge, you always have to sacrifice something too. I know I'm taking a big risk. I know my family is not going to be on my side here.
You have a kid now. You can't just live your life entirely for yourself, Albert. You know that, right?
The pressures of having a family are too much for me, though. It turns out it's a burden that's too heavy for me to bear.
So explain to me how this relates to living a life of true love or whatever you're talking about.
It's about your old friend Jenny. I think I want to start my life over with her.
What? Wait, Jenny? You don't mean Jenny Elliott, do you? Oh my god. Was she serious about what she was saying? I can't believe this is real.
What do you mean? What did she say?
She got in touch with me last month talking crazy about how she was going to steal my husband.
Oh, she did, huh? Well, anyway, I realized that she's the one I should really be with. It's my destiny to make her my wife.
And what do you plan to do with your current family? Are you going to abandon your family completely?
Family? My life has felt like a waste for a long time now, Melissa. Didn't you know that? I thought you would realize that too. I thought everyone knew.
Do you expect anyone to be able to always support your stupid, reckless risks? So you're going to go start over with a new woman. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I mean, it is my life after all. What's so bad about me wanting to live my life the way that I want to live it? Jenny is nothing like you at all, Melissa. She never tries to put me down. She's always on my side.
I never mean to put you down, you know.
I feel like I have to keep challenging myself.
How am I wrong for asking you, as a man who already has a family, to calm down and really think this through? You just had a kid, right? What's wrong with expecting you to be around the house to raise that kid? Who wouldn't want you to try to get home early so you can be around for our child? That's a perfectly normal thing to expect.
I'm gonna start again with Jenny.
I can't believe this is happening. So you've already started a relationship with her? Is that what you're saying?
When I'm with her, I feel so truly happy, like I haven't felt in a long time.
So you've been cheating with her then, right?
Fine, you want to call it cheating? I'll pay alimony or whatever. It's no problem. If that's what it takes to free me from my miserable life with you, I'll do it gladly. I'll pay whatever it takes to be able to live a life full of real love.
How can you be so sure that you love her more than anything else in the world? More than your own family, even?
If you could only see the pictures of us together when we took a trip together, you can see our true love overflowing from out of the pictures. It's all right there on film. If you tell me that it would help you understand why I want a divorce, I'd be happy to show them all to you. Is that what you want?
I see. Got it. You've always been extremely stubborn once you've made up your mind, Albert. You've been that way since I first met you.
I knew you would understand, Melissa. I never doubted that you would support me if it meant that I could live a life full of love.
Anyway, this isn't just about you, you know. Let me remind you yet again you have a child to support now. Let's figure out a time when all of us can talk through everything and get things figured out. You do need to figure out what's going to happen in the future.
Hey, Melissa, thanks for everything. So sorry I had to steal your partner away again.
My partner? What are you talking about? My husband Al is right here next to me. Who's there with you?
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? How can Albert be there when he's sitting right here next to me? We're at the courthouse to turn in our marriage certificate.
Oh, wait, Albert. You said Albert, right? My husband's name is Alvin.
Alvin? What? Wait, what's going on?
Albert and Alvin are twins. You didn't know? Albert never mentioned his twin brother to you?
Hold on, I have no idea what's going on right now. What are you talking about? I mean, I saw Albert coming out of your house. That's how I first found him.
Yeah, sure. He comes around to bother us for money sometimes. That's about all he's good for. When you saw him on his way home, you must have thought he was my husband for some reason. That was your mistake.
My mistake?
Yeah, you'd said something about Albert when I talked to you recently. I wasn't entirely sure which of the brothers you'd met. I thought maybe you just remembered his name. But then Albert reached out to me after that. So then I was almost positive that you'd mistaken him for my husband.
But you said your husband's name was Al. I'm not dreaming that, am I?
My husband's name is Alvin. I just told you that, remember? I've always called him Al, though. Albert, on the other hand, has always been Albert.
That's so confusing.
I've known both Albert and Alvin since we were all little kids. That's why I know Albert so well, too. We've always talked to each other pretty regularly.
Since you were kids?
Yep, they lived really close by, but the school district was cut off, like right in between their parents' house and mine. They had to put the border somewhere, right? So we didn't go to the same junior high or high school, even though they were my neighbors. I guess that's probably why you never met them, Jenny.
Wait, so Albert is not and never has been your husband?
That's right.
Well, all right. It is what it is, I guess. I still got to be married to a CEO, unlike you.
It is technically true that Albert is a CEO. His company's been losing money forever, and he's the only employee.
Losing money? Wait a sec, what are you talking about? Everything you're saying is news to me.
I thought you looked into him or something. Did you just take a quick look at him and accept everything he said as truth? And you felt like that was good enough? Albert was never able to take any kind of orders, so he can't work for anyone else. He keeps trying to start businesses and calling himself an entrepreneur, but he fails every time and goes deeper in debt. He always talks about how you have to take risks if you want to make a profit.
So even though he's a CEO, he's a poor CEO. I didn't know that was a thing.
My Al, on the other hand, got a job at my dad's company. He was awesome at his job, then he and I got married, so that helped too. So my dad decided to train him on how to be the next CEO. And now he's fully taken over from my dad.
Your dad has a company.
Yeah, my dad was the CEO of MCOR. Didn't you know that?
No way, you're lying, right? That's a huge company.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I hid that from everybody in junior high and high school. It was kind of a pain in the butt when people found out. When I was in elementary school, everybody was like, "Oh, you're a little rich girl." It was so much unwanted attention and like people wanting to come see her house and stuff.
Are you serious? You were a rich girl all along?
Yeah, but I did study hard so I could get a job at my dad's company too. And now that my dad's retired, I get to work with my husband since he took over as CEO. He takes care of the company and I make sure I take care of him, at work and at home.
This is not what I had in mind at all. I just wanted to marry a CEO and live a life of luxury. I was supposed to steal away your perfect life and be happier than you in the end.
Look, I have no idea why you've always been so fixated on taking things from me. But honestly, I think you and Albert are perfect for each other. You're both people who've never figured out how to make something for yourselves. Albert and Jenny, happily ever after.
Shut up!
Albert asked me for advice about his divorce. But his wife had actually already come to me a long time ago saying she was thinking about divorcing him. It all came together nicely in the end. Both of them ended up getting exactly what they wanted.
His wife?
Albert must have told you about his divorce, right? I'm sure he did. But I'm still not his wife, never was. Since you know that now, surely you must have realized that his wife is someone else, right?
Yeah, I guess I should have figured that out. Wait, so who is she?
He and his wife have already finalized their divorce. They already worked out all the alimony and child support payments and everything. I was there myself, so trust me, it's all decided.
What did you say about child support?
Yeah, they just had a kid. Ever since his wife got pregnant, she'd been asking him to get a stable job that would bring in some money. The whole time she was pregnant, she kept asking him and asking him. But even Albert said he would try. Instead, he kept taking risks like he always did. So yeah, they still weren't any better off than they'd been before. His wife got tired of putting up with him and started thinking about getting a divorce.
So he has to pay alimony and child support. And his company is losing money. You mean he has no money at all?
The plan is for him to pay his ex a certain amount every month. And of course, you'll have to contribute too, Jenny.
What? Why?
During the divorce proceedings, he told everybody he'd show them what true love is. He had a bunch of pictures of you two together, which was great evidence that he'd been cheating.
Oh my god, is he that stupid?
You'd never guess they're twins. He's so different from my Al. It's a total mystery how they turned out the complete opposite.
Oh no, I was so preoccupied messaging you that I didn't notice he already turned our paperwork in. I have to go get them to cancel it.
I'm pretty sure it's too late now.
Why do you say that?
His whole life he's been incredibly stubborn. Once he has his mind set on something, he won't let it go. That's why his wife wanted to divorce him for so long, but she wasn't able to get him to do it.
So you're saying there's no way I can get out of this?
That's up to you. Anyway, I don't plan on talking to Albert ever again, so I guess you and I can be done now too.
Hold on a minute. I thought you guys grew up together. You have to do something to help Albert.
Now that you're his family, isn't it up to you to help him change his ways? Try some of that true love you guys have.
No, I don't want to be poor forever. Why do I get the loser twin? Why didn't you tell me I had the wrong one?
Hey, I'm not the one who told you to start a relationship with a married man. That was all up to you and Albert. You made that decision yourselves. Now you're the ones who have to live with it.
Why does it have to be like this? Melissa, you have to help me. Hey, are you still there? But I thought we were friends.
Apparently, Albert and Jenny are having a hard time making ends meet after their alimony and child support payments every month. And when their parents found out about how they'd been cheating together, they totally disowned them. Even though Jenny already wants a divorce, Albert is having none of it. They're living in some cheap apartment just to get by, and they're both working all the time. I've heard that they fight like crazy every day. It's pretty far off from the happy, luxurious life Jenny had in mind, that's for sure. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and let us know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this and press the bell for notifications.
Hey, Dad. I have a quick announcement to make. Do you have a minute? Here it is. I'm getting married. Wow. Really? That's great news. I didn't even know you had a girlfriend. Of course I do. At this age, I better have at least one girlfriend. Anyway, she and I have decided to tie the knot. We're perfect for each other. Well, that's great. Congratulations, son. I'm really happy for you. You have to bring her to the house sometime and introduce us. We'll get your sister over here too, and we can all go out for dinner together. How does that sound? Yeah, about that. I don't think I'll be bringing her over to the house. I don't plan on introducing you to her, to be honest. We're just gonna go and do it at City Hall. Huh? Why are you doing it that way? Why wouldn't you introduce us? Are you ashamed of me or something? I'm not gonna tell you how to get married, son, but I feel like I need to say something here. It's a bit weird not to introduce your bride to your family. It'll probably also cause some issues later if you don't. It'll cause issues? For who? You? Is that because you're gonna have an issue if you can't steal my girlfriend from me? What are you trying to say to me? What's that supposed to mean? Dad, we all know that you're the kind of guy who has no problem stealing women from other guys. I know your history. So who's to say that you wouldn't try to do the same to me? After all, you did it to my dad. Plus, there's the fact that you and I aren't actually blood relations. What are you talking about? We're family as far as I'm concerned. And I've never done any such thing. Of course you did. That's what happened when you and Mom got married. I know what happened there. She was your friend's wife first, wasn't she? And that friend was my real dad. Dad got sick and passed away, and you married Mom right after that. Is that not true? I know the truth. It looks like you were just waiting for him to go so you could scoop her up. The whole time he was trying to fight off that sickness. I bet you just wanted him gone, didn't you? What are you even talking about? That's not what happened at all. And I never wished for anything like that. Your dad was my best friend. Do you have any idea how heartbroken we all were when your dad passed? That really doesn't sound very convincing coming from you. After all, you did snag my mom immediately once Dad was gone. And then Mom died in that car crash not long after marrying you. What a coincidence, huh? That's how we ended up living with you. That was the chain of events. It's all a matter of record. Which brings us to today. Right now. Right here. At any rate, I'm leaving home as soon as I'm married. Well, if you want to get out of this house, by all means do what you need to do. Your life is your life, and you have to live it. Far be it from me to tell you what to do or not do with it. But I'm definitely not letting you leave without correcting your misunderstanding of what happened with your mom, your dad, and me. For starters, I didn't have my eye on your mom, and I wasn't scheming to get her while your dad was sick, Chuck. You need to know that. I don't want to hear whatever your excuse is for what you did back then. It's plain as day what went on. You can dress it up and try to make it pretty all you want. But the fact of the matter is that you married your best friend's wife. I've been hating you for that my entire life. And now it's time to finally say it to you. Right here, right now. Chuck, you can't possibly mean all that. That's just beyond wrong. I don't want anything from you anymore, ever. We're through. And once I'm married, I'll have nothing to do with you. And if you try to take my girlfriend from me, there will be consequences. I promise you that.
Dad, you okay? What's going on? I just talked to Chuck and he told me about his engagement and everything. And then he told me that he's freezing you out. He said he wants nothing more to do with you. What happened? Did you two have an argument? What about? Please fill me in.
Well, an argument would have been better than what just happened between him and me. What actually happened was a one-way conversation with him telling me that he wants me out of his life forever.
What on earth happened? What's this all about? I don't get it.
He says he hates me. Can you imagine that? I mean, secretly being angry about something after all this time. He told me I'm a lowlife for stealing another man's wife. He's talking about your mom, your dad, and me.
No way. He's still stuck on that whole story? I thought we cleared the air about that years ago.
Back when he was in junior high, he used to harp on that a lot and use it as an excuse to rebel against me. Remember? I hadn't heard anything about it from him since back then, but apparently that wasn't the end of it for him. I thought I'd addressed the issue and corrected his misunderstanding of the situation once and for all, but now it seems that he never let it go.
Wow. I really can't believe him. You've taken good care of both him and me for so long. He's really got some nerve accusing you of that after all you've done for us. I mean, how does he think we'd have gotten along without you all these years? We would have been out on the street.
I've worked so hard all this time raising you kids and making sure you have what you need to live a good life. I never thought I'd end up being hated like this by one of you. Never in a million years.
And not just that. He took 8 years to finish college. And all that time you were paying for his tuition and his books. Not to mention giving him spending money. How can he possibly decide he wants nothing to do with you after all that? It's just not right.
I've got a lot of thoughts going through my head right now, to be honest. I feel like maybe he and I have never communicated enough, and I should just hold my tongue and give him some space now. As two guys, I thought we understood each other without having to talk so much about everything. You and I, we talked a lot about this stuff before. But maybe I was too distant with him, and now I'm reaping what I sowed by being that way. I just don't know.
What do you mean, Dad? Stop it. You haven't done a thing wrong. Not one thing. In fact, you've done more right than anyone could have expected you to. Whatever distance you might have been putting between you and us was for our own good, right? I know that. We were part of the package when you married Mom, and you've always taken good care of us. Really good care. Keeping a reasonable distance from us and from the past was the right thing to do, and I've always felt comfortable with it. I'll never understand why Chuck doesn't.
Thanks, Connie. It means a lot to hear you say that.
I mean, what a waste of a relationship it is for Chuck to say what he's saying. Honestly, it's just so ungrateful. I'm really disappointed in him. In fact, the more I think about it, the angrier I'm getting.
Thanks for seeing my side of it, Connie. It means a lot to me. And thanks, too, for caring enough to get angry about it. You've taken some of that burden off my shoulders as well. But please don't stew about it, okay? Because we know where that leads.
I don't know. For now, let's just hope Chuck's fiancée is a nice girl who has her head on straight. If she is, hopefully she can talk some sense into him about this stuff. He definitely needs someone to show him how stupid it is for him to be taking this attitude towards the man who raised us.
It'd be great if she's that kind of girl. Let's cross our fingers for that. Although I have a feeling that she's already hearing a lot of bad stuff from him about me.
Yeah, almost certainly. I hate to say it, but...
Well, he doesn't need me raising him and looking after him anymore, obviously. He's made that clear. If they're gonna go ahead and have a wedding celebration and not invite me, you can go in my place, Connie. And I want you to celebrate and wish them happiness for me, too. And we can give them a gift that's from the both of us, if you're okay with that.
Hello! I am very pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Rhonda, and I recently married Chuck. And you are George, the man who raised Chuck. Is that correct?
Yes. Very nice to meet you too, Rhonda. I am indeed Chuck's father, George. I hope to get to know you more. I wasn't expecting the pleasure of directly speaking with you, Rhonda. This really is a nice surprise.
Yes, I got your number from him. I really wanted to speak with you, at least once. There are some things that I need to let you know about.
Oh, what things?
I've heard a lot about you from Chuck. He told me the whole story. About how you stole your friend's wife, and that you never gave any love or affection to her children, Chuck and Connie.
Wow, you're really hitting me with it all at once and right off the bat too, Rhonda. So please allow me to respond. First off, I gave plenty of love and affection to both Chuck and Connie, and I raised them the best I could. I imagine you've heard a lot of negative things about me from Chuck, though. However, those things are largely his misapprehensions about things that happened in the past. See, he thinks he knows more than he actually does about those things.
Oh, really? If all of that is just misunderstandings, why haven't you given us a wedding gift? Our wedding was today and there was nothing from you. Is that how you treat someone with love and affection?
What? The wedding was today. That's the first I've heard about it. Nobody told me or invited me, so how could I know about it? But even if I'd known about the wedding, I wouldn't have been able to buy a gift. Chuck told me to stay away from him, you see.
If you really love those kids, you should have been able to come up with something. Even if you weren't invited.
What? How do you figure?
That's right. You weren't invited because those were his wishes and I respected them. But as his dad, you really are supposed to be able to find out about what's going on with your son somehow. I mean, normally that's the case. And then you'd send a gift, even if you had to do it in secret. You really should have come and at least given a gift. It's the least you could have done.
So, you're saying that I should have done my own research and found out information that intentionally wasn't given to me?
Yes, that's what a loving father would do, in my opinion. But you didn't do any of that. You didn't even try. The only reason you could act that way is if you didn't love Chuck as you claimed to.
That's a very presumptuous accusation you're making, young lady. Obviously, I wanted to celebrate your wedding with you and give a gift. But Chuck didn't want me there, and I didn't get an invitation, as you yourself stated. So, for you to blame me for this situation is unreasonable, to say the least.
Are you now getting angry instead of apologizing? That's a sign of a really bad father, you know.
Excuse me. What did you just say to me?
I can't blame Chuck for not wanting to be involved with you. I wouldn't either. And actually, we're moving into our new home today to start our new life together. But we will absolutely not be giving you the address. Again, that is Chuck's wish.
So I wasn't invited to the wedding, and you aren't gonna tell me where you live. It really looks like you want to thoroughly cut me off from your lives.
That is correct. We want nothing to do with a nasty old man like you. One who would marry his best friend's wife as soon as he died.
Nasty old man. Now, listen here, young lady.
At any rate, adoptive step-parents are really just fake parents in the end. And Chuck has no need for that in his life anymore. So, after this, please don't bother us anymore. Ever. And of course, don't look for help from us in your old age.
So, let me get this straight right now. All of this that you're saying to me now is what you and Chuck have decided together as a couple.
Of course. This is our consensus as man and wife. Chuck will be deleting your contact information from his phone and you from his life.
I see.
Going forward, we will not be giving out our information to fake family anymore. Ever. You are not family. You are nothing but a stranger to us.
Fine. If that's the case, I'll just have to leave my company in Connie's care.
What was that? Your company?
And I'll follow your and Chuck's wishes. You will not hear from me ever again. The company and all my assets will go to Connie. I'll arrange for all that right away. Thanks so much for getting in touch on these matters. It's good to know exactly where I stand. You've allowed me to get things in order in advance, and that'll help things go more smoothly.
Wait, hang on a second. What's this company that you're referring to? And what do you mean by everything goes to Connie?
Yeah. It's on a small scale, but I am actually running a company, and I have been for many years. I was thinking that Chuck would be the one to continue the business, but now it's clear that he doesn't want to be involved with me, so it'll have to be Connie.
Oh, wait. This is the first I've heard of this. What's this company that you're running?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 30 years now. Since before all the events that Chuck told you about, actually. It's small and I only have about 30 employees, but it's a solid little company. In fact, last year our profits were over $3 million. So I plan to keep it going like that, barring any disruptions.
Over 3 million? You're making that much?
I've always planned to have one of the kids take it over when the time comes. And when it does, I wanted it to be something worth continuing. You know, worth it for the kids to be a part of if they want to. So I've given it my all and worked really hard for a long time. In fact, last year, I was able to give all my employees a substantial bonus. I hope to be able to do that every year.
You don't say. I had no idea you were running such a successful business. Chuck's sitting right here and he says he's shocked too. He says he had no idea you've been running a company all this time.
Yeah, well, you can't expect kids to understand their parents' work. It's beyond them and of no interest to them most of the time. But I gotta say, the fact that he didn't know any of this, It does seem to say that he never really cared much about me or was interested in me.
What do you mean?
I mean this. I don't care if he cuts all contact with me. I have plenty saved up for retirement, and I'll be fine on my own, so rest assured on that. Please let him know all that.
Please, wait a moment. I feel like I've been misunderstanding something all along here. Can we have lunch or something sometime soon?
Chuck wants to cut me out of his life, and you're inviting me to lunch? That doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, the truth is that I really have been wanting to meet you, George. Even if you're not his real father. You did raise him, after all. Chuck is such a great guy. And I've been wanting to meet the man who raised him up to be so great.
Nah, just meeting me would be a waste of your time. Any father who's raised an ungrateful idiot like Chuck isn't a father worth meeting.
No, don't say that.
Anyway, please take good care of him. I won't ever have the chance to meet you, Rhonda, but I hope you and Chuck are very happy together and that you can build a happy home together. Hey, you! What's up with you running a business? And with profits over $3 million? Why have I never heard anything about it? You've done a good job of hiding all that from me, for sure. I've never been hiding it from you or anyone else. I've always been open and above board about it. If you never knew anything about it, it was because you never took any interest in my work. Are you blaming me for this? As much as you apparently hate me, the fact that you know absolutely nothing about my work. You never lacked for anything growing up. Not money, not education, nothing. Did you never once wonder what I did for a living that let you live so comfortably? Of course not. Why would I? I mean, I did see that you were giving Connie and me a good life and a comfortable home, but I thought you were doing that with inheritance money from Mom. Inheritance? Are you joking? How could I possibly have known that you were running a company? Were you totally unable to just think calmly about things? Your real dad died in his 20s. Then your mom died in her 30s. Nobody dies at those young ages and leaves an inheritance big enough to live the way we always have. Yeah, I guess that's true. And another thing. Your dad was a nice guy. He was too nice, in fact. So nice that he co-signed loans for people when he shouldn't have. And because of that, he died with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Oh, wow. Really? Yes, really. And then your mom had to try to raise the two of you while paying that money back. I couldn't just sit there and watch all that without trying to help. So I married her. It was the best way that I could help her, and help you and your sister. When I started my company, your dad lent me a lot of money. It was a few $100,000. That's the kind of guy he was. Me marrying your mom was my way of paying him back even though he was gone. So, you really weren't just waiting for my dad to die so you could get her? And you didn't slither in and take advantage of a grieving widow? No, I most certainly did not. Your mom and I weren't in love, but we had something important. Call it friendship, call it familial love, call it what you want. But it was something special and priceless. It was a special bond that connected us. Wow. And we enjoyed being together in that way, with that special bond. It was all we needed. Yeah, we thought we'd stay together forever, even when you kids moved out and moved on. Who knew that she'd end up going the way she did? In that damn car crash. Even now, thinking about that day makes me feel sick to my stomach. What a nightmare. Oh my god. So I've had it all wrong all this time? I've been hating you for doing something that you really didn't do? Yeah, but it's a bit late to mend fences now. Even ones that are all in your head. That ship has sailed, I'm afraid. I, for one, can't have the relationship with you that we once had. Too much has been said and done lately for that to ever be possible again. So you better go ahead and delete me from your contacts like you plan to. What? No! Take care, Chuck. Be good and be well. Your folks are up in heaven watching you, so make them proud. Be the man that they know you can be.
You made Connie vice president? Is that true? I just heard.
Yep. She took over just last week. She's the one who's gonna take this company into the future, so she's gotta learn everything and get up to speed. She's been getting to know all the employees and my business associates too. She's a natural communicator. She definitely has a gift.
You need to reconsider this decision right away. Please! I mean, the situation almost always means that the eldest son will take over. Pushing Chuck aside and letting Connie take the reins is a real problem.
Pushing him aside. He's the one who decided that we won't be in contact anymore.
If that's the issue, then all he needs to do is take that back, right? Please mend fences with him ASAP. Just be sincere. Ask him for forgiveness. And ask him to take over.
Excuse me.
He wants to mend fences with you too. I'm his wife. I know he does. He feels bad and can't reach out to you, but I know that in his heart he's changed his mind and he doesn't want to lose you. I'll act as a mediator for you two and make it work. So let's please forget about cutting contact with each other.
No thanks. I really don't want to see his face again.
Don't say that.
What's done is done and can't be undone. Ever heard that saying? It's from Shakespeare. It means there's no going back.
No, please don't say that. Even without an actual blood connection, you raised him up from a little kid into a man. Hey, how about this? Come over to our place and have dinner with us. We can all talk and get this whole mess straightened out.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. That new place of yours. Sorry, but you're gonna have to move out. I actually am the owner of that building.
What? Really?
The property manager just called me and told me you guys have to move. I never thought you'd be the ones living there.
So, this place is actually your property?
Yeah. I bought it thinking that it'd be a place for me to live in later. You know, after the kids are grown and I'm retired. I bought it quietly and didn't really mention it to anyone.
And that's this place where we're living?
Yeah. And the way things are now, it wouldn't be right for you two to be living there. I mean, the son who froze his father out of his life still living in a property that his dad owns. That's just wrong on so many levels. So you have to move. But don't worry, I'll make sure you get your deposit back.
This can't be happening. Nobody told me this could happen. We spent so much time and energy looking for a good place. And I love everything about it. The color, the location, the layout. It's all so great.
But unfortunately, we're done, and I'm frozen out. You've both told me so, and not to ever contact you again. So there's nothing more to say or do about it. So, good luck with everything, and please do get that move done ASAP. Thanks. A few days later, the two of them had moved out without making any trouble for anyone. Rhonda was apparently ready to be stubborn and try to just squat there indefinitely. But Chuck had too much pride for that and had all their bags packed in short order. He was ready to move on, it seems. I hear they moved into another apartment somewhat similar to the old one, but Rhonda refused to let up on things, constantly admonishing him to make amends with his dad and make her a company owner's wife. Chuck's reply: "A man has his pride. I'm not crawling back to him on my knees. No way." They have the same argument pretty much every day, I hear. And I'm told that their honeymoon went pretty much the same way. A complete disaster. As for Connie, my new vice president, her job performance has exceeded all my expectations, and her work is going very, very well. And my choosing the second in line turned out to be a very, very good decision.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. If you didn't, or you have any other things you want to share with us, feel free to give us your opinion in the comments section below. Also, please follow our channel. Your opinions and comments keep us going. We have many more videos that we're sure you'll enjoy, so please check them all out.